Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are watching from. And I tell you, we send greetings here to you all from whichever part of whichever country you're coming from. And I know that you're going to love the topic for today because today we've got a special program. And the topic for today is divine purpose and abundance. I repeat, that is divine purpose and abundance. I've got two beautiful guests here today. I've got on my left here today, I have got Harris Sadina. Welcome to my show at JNM 1000. And I tell you what, I've also got a wonderful other guest, and her name here today is D. Lana. And of course, welcome to JNM Show.
Hello,
Yes.
thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. And they're going to be helping me to explore this topic. This is a heavy topic. You know, the topic here today, wherever you're watching from, is, again, for all the viewers, from whatever time zones that you're watching from, is divine purpose and abundance. And I've got beautiful guests over here to take us through their journey as well. And there's no right or wrong answers, I must stress this. But we're exploring the issues of divine purpose and abundance. I'll take you through to something that I had written and something that I've actually felt that will allow us to be able to sort of explore the issues that we are going through abundance. So I'm saying we often hear of abundance. Do people really understand such? I'm asking. In the 21st century, do we see people being able to really connect with divinity when all kinds of problems are ongoing? What is your take to this? Join us with a beautiful audience and help us share this topic widely. We would like this topic to really go really far so that we bring love to our world here today. Thank you so much, Harris. I'm going to be taking through his career path as well. And as I look here forward, thank you to so many people who are joining us right down from Kenya. I welcome you. From Nigeria, I welcome you. And of course, we've got live guests as well from Ghana joining us right now. So, I'm going to be introducing my guests just slightly here. And do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself, Harris?
Yeah.
Yes, go on.
Hi.
Yes.
Just first of all, Juliet, thank you so much for inviting us to your show.
Thank you.
And here in Heritage TV. And my name is Harry Sardinas. I am the founder of Speakers Are Leaders. I'm also the founder of Entrepreneurs Are Leaders, programs that are designed to enhance the leadership in people. So we create empowerment context and frameworks so people can take their life to the next level, the business to the next level, by empowering them to overcome the fear and to believe in themselves.
Absolutely wonderful. Thank you for accepting the short notice.
Pleasure.
I asked you and I suggested we need entrepreneurs to help us explore this issue of abundance. And why I really love Harris is because when I first met Harris through Bradley's program, when I came physically and said hello, on that night, if you remember, the energy flow, as we would say. And my next guest here today with me is Dilana. Dilana, once again, we thank you for coming in. Would you like to tell us just a little bit about yourself, please?
Thank you again for inviting me for this wonderful show, and I am overjoyed to be here. Thank you again, Juliet.
Yes.
What a wonderful opportunity. I am the founder of Sweet Women Group.
Yes.
That is sisters with excellent entrepreneurial talent.
All right.
And I founded this group with an interest to facilitate and bring out all the entrepreneurial talents within my sisters.
Yes.
And to just encourage them to reach their goals and to find their potential in life. So this topic sits very comfortably with me. I am very excited to be here today to discuss this topic with you.
Thank you. And I tell you what, to have two beautiful people from both with very different backgrounds, you know, they are all wealthy with knowledge. They have this wealth built in them. You know what? I could never have asked for beauty inside the soul.
Thank
and
you.
to bring in such warm people to allow us to flourish, to allow us to have abundance and understand the meaning of abundance with their own views here today. Of course, before I just even continue, may I appreciate the technical team here, Heritage TV, and if you'd like to call on the show today, the number to call is 020 800 46 100. I repeat that number again, is 0208 0046 100. If you'd like to follow this show, hashtag is at JNM1000. And of course, you know I always love my African Wonder Woman. I tell you what, we welcome them to the show. African Wonder Woman has a Meet African Wonder Woman and pass that love to the world that we talk about. Many, many thanks to Olori as well, Ade Thomas, who is the producer of this program. We appreciate Heritage TV as well. If you'd like to come to the studio as well, please, we ask you to subscribe to our YouTube channel as well, Juliet Makapila, and of course, pass that to Heritage TV as well, so that we are able to increase and bring productivity, economic situation. My show is always about social, economic, and of course, humanity at its best. So today, as we explore this issue, I come back to the issue. What is it when you hear about abundance? What exactly do you feel when you feel that people say abundance? Harry, we'll start with you because we've outnumbered you.
First is just the concept of abundance. I think that there is a misleading concept that the society have, that abundance is how much money you have in the bank account. And in that purpose, I think that people actually miss the real purpose of their life. And money is only one thing, one aspect of life. There are several aspects of life, like health, relationship, family, several areas in your life that if you're able to develop, you can be rich and you can feel that you have abundance. You know, if your children love you, if you have an excellent relationship with your partner, if you have excellent relationship with your friends. So when it comes to abundance, the first thing that I want to, in my opinion, to get clear is that we have to start to disassociate abundance with money, because money is only one of the elements that can define that, and of course it's very important. However, there are 10 more different aspects that I can define a person that is rich.
Yes.
If you manage that the people love you, if you manage that everybody follow this wonderful program, yes, you have abundance because you have people follow you, people appreciate what you do.
Yes.
So you feel like the wealthiest person in the world. However, you know, is not directly reflected with money. So abundance is a term bigger than money itself, in my opinion.
So you can hear he's talking about wealth, and that is what people sometimes think about abundance. And what about you, Didi?
Thank you, Juliet. And I'd just like to echo what Harry is saying about people that believe that abundance and wealth are the same thing. But you have to separate them, because you can have many people working 9-to-5 jobs, earning fantastic, enviable salaries, and yet they are not living a life of abundance.
Okay.
They work and stress and they do the daily grind, and yet they fail to divide, to get to the steps that I would be able to show you in an upcoming book that's coming, how to, when you get your salary, to divide it up so that you can live that life of abundance and wealth simultaneously.
And I tell you what, whenever I hear people start discuss about these issues of abundance, so two people from very different background, as you can see, there's no right or wrong answers, but we're talking here today about divine purpose and of course abundance. What does it mean to the viewers? What does it mean to you? So we have heard from Dee, and just to bring back to those people who are joining us today, Dee Lina is the author of the upcoming magazine, upcoming amazing design system, which helps 10,000s of people, and of course to achieve personal excellency and to improve productivity. She is the founder of Sweet Sisters, as you had earlier. And I'm very tempted to ask you later why Sweet Sisters as well. And of course, she has got fantastic entrepreneurial skills, and she uses her platform again, as she told us here earlier on. She's to use her platform to empower entrepreneurs and to allow people to fulfill their potentials, and to also she's also the producer and co-creation person for Sweet Women Events newsletter. So if you'd like to subscribe to her for newsletter, you've got her contact. I'll be announcing it later. She's also an independent travel agent who is also really growing up many teams, and of course speaks on many networks, as you can see. And she loves being interviewed. As you can see, she's on my show here today. Some more opportunities, and her real topics is to promote health and fitness and allow divine purpose. So coming back to her again, I thank you all just for listening to the answers. And she's talking about salary and how people equal salaries with abundance. I question that in this program today. At JNM 1000, at JNM 1000, if you'd like to bring or to make phone calls here today, is 0208 800 46 100. So I come back to you again, Harry. And the question I'm going to ask is, what is divine?
Well, divine is a concept that in my opinion, when you feel happy, you know, something. Happiness is a feeling that we human beings we seek again and again to. I want to be happy. I want to be happy. I want to be happy.
Yes,
But in our life, we are happy just
short time.
But yes, short time. We spend all our life pursuing this, and I think that divinity is that, like, you know, those moments that you actually feel 100% happy, and you feel divine.
Okay,
My
that's
view.
very interesting. And do you ever think that people will always be happy 24 hours?
I don't think. I think that this is a big paradox. People, we are pursuing happiness and looking for happiness all the time. But in that process, we become better human beings. We become better people, and we start to give love. I think that in order for you to have divinity, is about how much love and how much contribution you give to this society.
Thank you.
That's what really is gonna make people happy. I think that again, a lot of things. I did businesses before,
Okay.
and I just did it just to make money. Right, I just did those business. Even one property business that I had, we sold over £4 million, and I did it for the money.
Yes.
Today I downsized this business and I might close it. Why? Because I did it only for the money.
Thank
It
you.
was not done.
For
It
love.
was for love or fulfilling. So eventually, sometimes you get a route that your friends are taking, that people are taking. Why we do things, and it comes to the subject today about purpose.
Yes.
Until you don't find your real purpose, it doesn't matter if you have a business and it's not fulfilling your real purpose. Eventually, I'm actually talking to myself and say, you know, I might waste 10 years of my life growing this business, and after to find out that I'm not passionate about it. And
We're coming back to purpose.
Yeah.
And T, what
Yeah.
do you think about divinity or divine?
Thank you, Juliet. Again, following on from Harry, I feel that our divinity and purpose do come hand in hand.
Yeah.
Our divine purpose in life is what we were placed on this earth to fulfill.
Right.
And without finding that purpose, you are going to feel hollow. You're going to feel empty. You're not going to be satisfied. You will always have a niggling feeling at the back of your mind or heart that there's more for me. There's something more.
Yes.
There's something I need to find to do. And you will continue searching. I love the way Harry said we're always in the pursuit of happiness. We're chasing happiness.
Yes.
Whereas we should be in a content mode. We should be able to find that happiness, and we'll have that joy to jump out of bed every morning because we're in a state of happiness.
And I tell you what, whenever I think about this subject, one of the things I always think, can human beings always be constant happy? African Wonder Woman wondering. And you know my mission statement as well. African Wonder Woman is always wondering. We wonder, wonder, wonder. And you know, as we talk about this subject, where are you in your life? What is happening in the state of your life? What is it that so many people are constantly struggling? Whenever we hear this word abundance, are we shocked? Are we struggling? Do we understand how to get our own consciousness right up to scale it up so that we are able to be able to be good citizens? Is good citizens confused with abundance? Those are some of the questions we are exploring today. Back to the subject again. It's interesting. You started us off with the word purpose, and you were explaining. Do you think many people have got their sense of purpose, Sadi?
I think that is something that happened with the process, and I want to extend what Dee is sharing with us.
Right.
Because it's very important when you find this purpose to be in the positive state of mind.
Right.
You won't be able, if you are negative, complaining, mourning, every single day, or you're angry with yourself, it's going to be almost impossible for you to define your purpose of what you really want in life. Though I think that the step number one, I 100% agree with Dee, is your state.
Thank
You have to have a positive state. I do a workshop all over the world. The name is Speakers and Leaders. We do it in Mexico, Singapore. It's more than 10,000 people we have empowered with this workshop. And I do an exercise in this workshop with the name is Speakers and Leaders. And I tell to the people, okay, just go sad and in 1 second smile. Sad and smile. And the people change from sad and smile in 1 second. I always tell them, so who's responsible to change your state of mind?
You're responsible.
Yourself.
Yes.
And how fast can you do it? How fast can you do it? In a second. So to define purpose, have a positive state of mind. It will lead you to find what do you really want and who are you in the first place.
Auntie, how can people find what they were truly, really brought up to do? Do people have confusion? Do they need guidance for that?
Yes, both of the same. Some do need guidance, and some may be confused. Some may feel that they are pursuing their happiness, but they'll get to the end of the road and realize that they need to take a left or a right turn.
Yes.
So again, with what Harry is saying, I'm leading on from there.
Yes.
The pursuit of happiness, I can only go by my experience.
Absolutely.
And I find that I have found some purpose in facilitating, helping others to get that talent out there and to find their purpose. One particular lady in my group says she believes she's found her purpose by connecting people together. And that's one way to go forward, being the facilitator of connections.
Thank you. And I tell you what, I'm bringing people live in again all the way from United States, and our topic here today is divine purpose and, of course, abundance. What's your take, viewers? If you'd like to call on this number, is 0208 100 46 100. I repeat, 02080 46 100. And of course, thank you so much again to the producer, Heritage TV. We love you for supporting JNM 1000 to produce this show. In my guest here today, I bring you back to, of course, the two wonderful guests who are bringing me to discuss this live topic. Is Dilana here today, and of course, Harry Sardin. Will be putting their contact there. Details are later if you follow African Wonder Woman at this stage. We are asking, how does this impact on our society when people cannot understand divinity and when people are constantly struggling with abundance? How does this impact on our society? Let's go to T, the lady first. What do you think? How does this impact on society?
Well, unfortunately,
And why is this important as well?
again, thank you. Unfortunately, you find that where there is dissatisfaction and you're not fulfilling your purpose in life and you know it, you get up 9 to 5, 24/7, you do the daily grind, you struggle and you still feel unfulfilled. It weighs on the mind. It can affect mental health. It's very sad that we hear in the news or we know of family members, we know people who are affected by mental health issues, but that's a topic for another day.
Last week I was talking about stigma and mental health, so thank you so much for reminding us our topic of last week, and we appreciate the people who called in. So abundance of mental health, just to say that here. Thank you.
Well, you see how it all fits in
Yes.
nicely.
Yeah, thank you.
There you go. So it can affect people negatively, and they will continue to have a very negative outlook on life, but we need to be able to bring them in and show them the steps and the ways in which they can free themselves
Absolutely.
to be able to get this abundance in their life.
Thank you. And I'm really, really excited with this. I bring you again, who is Harry Sardina? In my show, I love to speak about the people and the producers and every single person that I meet, because you know what? It channels my energy. Harry Sardina is the founder of Entrepreneurs for Leaders, Leaders Millionaire Speakers Network, and of course his website is topcoach.org.uk. He empowers and of course he helps to develop leadership skills by showing you how to speak more effectively so that people would want to do business with you. And of course he's an international person. He's of course the new tycoon, and he loves to be the tycoon, because I tell you what, I have met him, and when I met him I really had good flow in his program. He's been shortlisted in among so many people. He's been around people like Gary Vaynerchuk and of course Dave Martini, Dr. Dave Martini. I always talk about Dr. Dave Martini. You must follow his work. And of course he's been around people like Robert Kiyosaki. He is also trained hundreds and of speakers or thousands of speakers, and he's also an entrepreneur. He's also an author, a coach, and of course he helps young people to overcome the fear of public speaking and to become more confident in speaking on stage. You know what? We need people like him, people who can show us how to come on stage. And you know what I really love is a lot of people cannot even speak as much as I want to speak. But you know what? I was born and blessed because I love speaking. I love empowering people. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Yes, so we're back to our topic here today, and thank you so much both for the work that you both do. We're talking about sustainable super abundance, and as we leverage up, I brought a few books here. I'm just picking up books to help us to explore this beautiful topic. Our topic here today again is divine purpose and abundance, and if you're following me here today, it's at JNM1000. I'm going to pick up one of the books, and it says David Wood. He is of course the chair of London Futurist. I appreciate you, David Wood, who is written a book about sustainable super abundance. And you know what? One of the phrases I picked up today from reading his book is, he says, and I'm coming to transhuman, and when people hear transhuman, you know, when I first heard David Wood saying transhuman, and I thought, how does that fit in with abundance? You know, coming from the African background, you know, when you hear about transhuman, you know, so I took a lot of interest. His book here again today is Sustainable Super Abundance. And I quote what he means by transhuman. He means transcending human limitation, giving beyond what we have inherited from our culture and our evolution and our society. How does that feel? Or do I repeat that again?
Yeah.
Yeah, you want us to repeat. So David Wood is writing from a sustainable super abundance. You know, so we're talking about abundance. And he's looking at what abundance means to him. But he compares the abundance with what he calls transhuman. So when I first saw that, because I'm interested with issues
Yeah.
of peace, I'm like, what are you talking about, David Wood? So he says, and I picked up a section from his, what he really means with what abundance is. He means, when I asked him to define, what do you mean by transhuman? And he says, heading human limitation, going beyond what we have inherited from our culture and our evolution and our society. That is how he sees abundance.
Yeah.
So I just looked at
Yeah.
that, but I was wondering whether people understood that straight away.
Yeah, I'm gonna break it down easier. What he means by that is we are being told when we are kids, right, that we need to go to school, we need to study really hard, we're gonna find a nice job, and then we're gonna be very happy, right? And actually, talking about DiMartini, I was once in a conference listening to him, and DiMartini was talking about that kind of balance. You know, that sometimes a kid he's playing with the football the football ball, and the parents said, no, don't play football. Go and study. Don't play football. Come and play piano.
Yes.
And if you don't allow that kid to empower and to be and develop what he's passionate about, what is happening is that he never will find his purpose, right? All of us, we are encapsulated in a paradigm, the society, that we have to do A, B, C, D, E.
Yes.
And that's how life goes. And 95% of the people actually never live the purpose, never even find out.
Yes.
And then you find sometimes like these very famous. That's why you find rappers or very famous people that, you know, they are 30 years old, they have fame, they are multimillionaires, and then they kill themselves.
Oh, yeah.
Why? Because they haven't tapped into themselves,
Yes.
what they really want, what they made them happen.
Yes.
So you have to be a superhuman to overcome all the barriers, right?
But can people really become superhumans? You know, we've
And-
got this issue about AI, you know, so I'm coming
Yeah.
to that in a few minutes. When
Yeah.
you say superhumans,
No, what I'm
you
saying
know,
superhuman.
what happens, you know?
Well, I think that what he means by superhuman
Yeah, yeah.
is, I think, someone that is actually able to get out of the box, or get out of the standard way
Yes.
of living
Yes.
that society have designed for it. I define as a superhuman, because it's almost impossible to get out of the rat race. You finish university, then you go to a job that you don't like,
Yes.
but you cannot live because that job pay for your bills. Then after, because society wants you very good, then you go and buy a car. Now you need to stay in this job forever because you need to buy to sustain that car, to sustain this house that other people want you to see. And
Provide, yeah.
in the end, people live the life in that box and never wonder, why if I become an entrepreneur? Why if I become like me, an international speaker? For me, for example, like yesterday, I was speaking with a friend in an interview. He was telling me, Harry, so you don't work? I said, yeah, I do work,
Yes.
but I don't work 8 hours a day.
Yes.
I don't.
Yes.
My work is different. I'll meet people that I like.
Yes.
I speak in conferences. I speak in universities all over the world. I speak in conferences all over the world. And shall I call it work? No, because I love it.
Yes.
I'm passionate about
And
it.
you
Even here,
enjoy it, so you get
even here
abundance.
being with you, you
Yes,
know. So
yes.
this, I don't think that I can call it work because I'm having a lot of fun here.
Yes.
So how you want to define your life? What do you want to work that makes you happy?
Yes.
That you feel that you're not working, right?
Yes, yes.
And it takes a lot. It takes, like he said in the book, you know.
Yes.
It takes a lot of
Passion.
and also strength to say, you know what, I'm gonna break the paradigm and I'm not gonna be like anybody else. I'm gonna stop work 8 hours a day. I'm gonna quit my job, and I'm gonna do it all by myself, and I'm gonna do what I love. I'm gonna help a lot of people, and on top of that, I'm gonna make more money than I used to do in my job.
Yes.
95% of the people never take that risk.
Yes.
So we never find out what is in the other side, and because
So-
we want safety, we want certainty, and that's why people live life that they are not fulfilled. If you think that people are fulfilled and they find a purpose, I invite you to take the metro here in London, 7 a.m. on Monday. Yeah, I invite you to take the metro 7 a.m. here on
And I
Monday.
bring you to my next question, which is, which was, do people get up in the morning with a sense of purpose? And of course, you're answering that one already. So I'll come down to the next question, which is really, really important, question on technology, and of course, the question also on artificial intelligence and how that is impacting upon abundance. So whenever I think about abundance, and I'm thinking about the issue in technology, what's your take in technology with abundance, Sadina?
Well, with artificial intelligence, I mean, what can I say? We do large events all over the world, and we use a form of advertising that actually use artificial intelligence. I think that is a very powerful tool for us to use to fulfill our purpose in life. So artificial intelligence has to be used in a sustainable way.
Does it worry you sometimes? Or do you think that this will really connect human beings in terms of?
It depends how we use it. You know, I always said that new technologies and things, it will enhance who you are. If you're a good person and artificial intelligence comes to you, you're gonna do a lot of good with that. For example, we take the artificial intelligence, we advertise our event, we put hundreds of people in our events all over the world, and we empower them to become a better speakers and better leaders, so they can make this world a better place. But this is our workshop. The name is Speakers and Leaders. It's the book that I wrote. It's in the bookstores in Easton. And we use artificial intelligence to bring people together, to empower them, and as a form of advertising. I think that if you're a negative people and you want to do wrong, and this technology comes to you, you can use it for a lot of wrong things. But we as a human being, the tools that on the same with the internet, when it came the internet, Google and so on, a lot of people say, well, it's going to be the end of the world. No, it's going to change the world. What depends is never the problem of the technology, it's always the problem the human being using this technology.
Thank you for that answer. And Didi, what do you think about artificial intelligence? Do you think a lot of Africans or people from the black community really understand it? And I'll also make other people, when I first sometimes hear AI, you know, in Kenya, because my mom worked in agriculture, I used to think AI, artificial insemination. You know, so do you really think people understand the new technology right down from Africa? How is that to you?
Yeah, in the 21st century, I believe the African continent is coming along in leaps and bounds. Yes, definitely. Yes. We're the pioneers of a lot of great innovations out there. Yes. We have a lot of brothers and sisters making strides in artificial intelligence and using it to our advantage. As Harry has said, we can use it to promote our work and to enhance what we're doing. Unfortunately, if it falls into some bad hands, it can be used negatively. But hopefully, where we talk about the positive side of artificial intelligence, we use it to promote ourselves and come on TV as we are doing now, and to look around the world. And there are so many ways to advance medicine as well. So there are a lot of different ways in which you can use artificial intelligence positively. But also, I was going to add that after plugging in, it's also important to unplug, to come away from, and to just go somewhere where you can disconnect completely from all the laptops, the mobile phones, everything, and just switch off and get back to nature.
So we're looking at the next question, which I was coming into, about mindfulness. Do you think more people should be doing mindfulness? I come back to you again now.
Well, I want to close something in the question before to go to mindfulness. Okay. And especially with the continent of Africa, I think that since the power of internet and a mobile phone has been, because of the use of technology, more accessible to everyone, again, we can find balance. We can find that people now, even in Africa, everyone have a mobile phone and everyone have access to the information. So the world that once was really, really unbalanced because the access of the information was only for the people that have money and the powerful countries, in today's, thanks to technology, people all over the world have access to internet, have access to the information, can see your show, right? And it's been and it's in a way affordable
Yes.
for everyone.
Yes.
So
And thank you for bringing us back to that. And let's move on to the mindfulness. Yes, please, yeah.
Yes.
Dina.
So as from what Harry was saying, it is important again to be mindful of the people out there that were unable to access this as seen as like a Western world
Yes.
innovation. When we were first being introduced to internet and computers back in the 80s, it was an amazing thing, but it was something only the rich could afford to have. But now we have affordability, accessibility, and people around the world are able to connect. We can talk freely with friends and family across the globe as if they were in our living room or we saw them last week.
exactly.
Thank you.
And,
Thanks to, are you saying we should thank Facebook and we should be thanking WhatsApp and all
Well,
this
all the
kind of technology?
all the
Okay, thank
technology
you.
is
Right.
making this world more balanced.
Okay, and for those joining us here today, our topic once again is divine purpose and abundance. And with me here, two beautiful guests here today, Tilana and of course Harry Sadina, right here at JNM 1000, at JNM 1000. What is your take, viewers? This topic, whenever we talk about this issue, as you can hear, they're talking about, in their opinion, abundance is with loads of money. Most people sometimes associate abundance with money, or they wait until they have great wealth. Is that your take, viewers? As I can say, you can see they're both agreeing that this is when people feel they should start showing abundance. But I tell you what, this is an issue in my heart. And today, a lot of people who are struggling, as you've heard here today, that many people struggling with either mental health, which we talked about last week, stigma of mental health and challenges, as you can see, might sometimes struggle to really find this idea of abundance. We're talking about consciousness, and consciousness is something that Sadin is saying to us, that he uses a format of getting people to smile and getting people to be sad, to help us understand that we can only change our own mindset. Thank you for that. From a world speaker, tycoon as well. As you can see, we've got very good people. We're moving on to, do people get all up in the morning with a sense of purpose? We've touched on that. And sometimes every day cannot be everyday happiness, so we've touched on that as well. I come back to my next question, which is, we have fakeness, media giants, artificial intelligence, which is what we were exploring. So my next question is, do you think people should concentrate more in mindfulness so that we can avoid the full destruction of our world? And how should we do that? How can people think about this kind of super, as you call it, super abundant, well, you're sharing super, abundance. Yeah, take us through
I think that when it comes to, I actually doing a lot of work with myself now, a lot of meditation, and actually waking up, and I even walking on the park in the grass without shoes to be more grounded. I think that we need to allow time for ourselves to find ourselves what we really want. We the day started, and our mind is never in ourselves. Our mind is like preparing the breakfast for the children, go to school, take the metro, go to work, make the boss happy, come back, cook, and again and again and again. And there is no time to think about yourself. There is no time to meditate, to be with yourself, and to find your purpose. I think that we need to, in order to find that peace and to find what you really want, you have to
create time.
Create time for yourself. Create time for for you to go and walk alone in the park and think what would actually make you happy, what would be your purpose, what would make you happy. I think that I want to share with all of you something that I discovered for myself when I was doing the talk in Peru. We were
Oh,
doing
yes,
the talk.
yeah, I
We were
remember.
doing a talk in Peru with 500 women,
And thanks for the work that you do with
Yeah.
all the women. Peru, we greet you. African Wonder Woman greets Peru. Thank you so much to all the women that turned up in Peru. Yeah.
And after we did the talk, something magical happened that this woman, with low income, they came to me. I was doing the talk with my partner Lily, and there was tears of hope, and they were looking in my eye and telling me, Harry, if it's true that if I wake up happy every single day, my economic situation is going to improve and things are going to get better. And I told her, yes, mom. If you wake up happy, I promise you, the energy, the universe will bring to you what you're looking for, because this smile will bring you energy. And I discovered that this talk we were doing for a charity purpose, and I noticed that day will change their life. And this is when I start to explore fulfillment, is when you change someone's life, is when actually you start to live.
Absolutely.
And that is going to give you more power, going to give you more freedom than any money in the world. So focus.
And that's what De Martini would say
Exactly.
as well. I want to appreciate our Dr. De Martini, who came to UK here, and I got a chance to listen to his wonderful talk. If you've not followed De Martini, please follow his work. So he talks about social value. He talks about how
Balance.
you balance and you get wealth in you wholeheartedly. And he talks about the sense of purpose and the sense of living. As you've heard, Harry insists that he doesn't feel he's doing any work despite that, because he loves what he's doing. And you know what? That brings me into, we'll rush a bit this book. You know about Paul McKenna. He uses hypnotherapy as a way to think, as a way to get people to consciousness. What do you think about hypnotherapy, both of you?
Did
Hypnotherapy, a topic that if you feel that you want to believe in it, then you will be able to go all the way in with Paul.
Do people understand what hypnotherapy is? Or are they trying to get into super abundance? You know, African Wonder Woman is always wondering, you know, saying so. Yes.
I believe
What do you think
they
about?
step into it with that sense of curiosity.
Okay.
They want to find out what's on the other side. They may not fully understand what they're stepping into, but if they allow themselves to open up to the possibilities of hypnotherapy, they may find that there is something for them to connect to. It may not be for everybody,
Right.
but it's worth taking a look at if that's what you so desire.
Yes. And
Yeah, I think-
what do you think about this?
I mean, I think that, this technology, innovative hypnotherapies have been around for a long time. And I know people that quit smoke. It works for some people it doesn't work. Same with the fear of public speaking. I have one of my clients that they come to me and tell, Harry, I'm still terrified to speak in public. I had done hypnotherapy, I had done this, and I'm still terrified.
Okay.
And then he came to our programs, and after 3 weeks, he's speaking in front of 30 people without any problem. Why? Because in the end of the day, if you create an empowerment context, this empowerment context will help people to overcome the greatest fear that they are facing today. I think that it's a science that works, and you can use it for so many things. You can use it for remove addictions. Actually, it's a very extensive use on that, and also as well because they tap into the subconscious mind of the people. Actually, if this can change the paradigm of the person, say, well, I'm gonna changed my life. I'm going to take another
and the
route.
reason I'm asking this is how
Yeah.
do we connect with hypnotherapy with abundance? I don't know all the full answers, but I love to bring all these ideas to you. Also, we were touching earlier on mindfulness, and of course, when I'm thinking about mindfulness, I take you a step back. I'm thinking about where that comes from. India, meditation, all these issues about Buddha. Are we talking that people are really looking to have or cleanse or detox themselves? And thank you so much to this wonderful guests here today who are helping me to explore these issues. We're going to pick another book here, which is Embracing the Poor and Releasing, Resourcing and Equipping the Poor for the World Mission. The book is written by David Adam, and I picked it up here today because of thinking about this topic from all different interdenominational or faith groups. And I wondered your take. When people think about this, do they think about religion straight away, especially from the white Caucasian, or do they think about who they are? What's
Yeah, like I said, in this was the title, Embracing the Poor. Yeah, the again, when it comes to mindfulness and everything, that's the same that I was sharing with you when I had this experience in Peru. The more you give, the more you get. And in this planet we have, it's very difficult to get this thought across people, because the faith thing that everybody wants to do when they meet you is take something, take. And if you try and if you allow yourself to do it in a different way, when you give, you're gonna find a lot of peace. You know that this peace is priceless.
Yes.
This peace that you have when you actually give without expectation, and actually give to the poor. Even like I'm telling you, we went in this tour in Peru. We were talking with the promoters, and they were telling us, Harry, let's go to do some tourism. Let's go to introduce you more corporate companies, so you can do more trainings and get paid more.
Yes.
And I was insisting, no, we want to do charity work.
Yes.
We want to do some the people that they have less, because the energy in the room is gonna lift you up in a way
Yes.
that you will be the best winner,
Yes.
even without taking any money,
Yes.
because that energy will build you up.
Yes.
I don't know how to express it. It's fantastic. And actually, we are in conversation now to go and speak in Nigeria.
Oh wow!
So,
Welcome to Nigeria, all the way to Nigeria. And which part are you going to in Nigeria?
We don't know yet. We are working a project now with a group of speakers that I train. They will be one of them actually that are gonna go with us, and we're working in a project now to go myself,
Yes.
my partner Lily, and a group of speakers from Nigeria, but they're based in London,
Yes.
to do a tour with the program that I have, Entrepreneurs Are Leaders.
Thank you for that, for bringing us. So all the way from Peru, and now we move. Can you see how these things connect with each other? I remind viewers here today we're talking about divine purpose and of course abundance. And yes, I have just managed now to catch up with some of the viewers. I was struggling there a little bit, so I beg your pardon for technicalities today. But what we've touched here today is we've touched on the issue of mindfulness, we've touched the issues of wealth and how people connect wealth with monies and abundance. We've also touched on the issue of mental health and of course the issue of giving. Harry is on the issue of giving back, and he explains to us when you give, you receive. And I love that about us human beings. How do we learn to share? Are we always giving people? Are we always being human beings who are able to share. And how do we do that without the issue, in collaboration with finding happiness? Here today again, I want to also appreciate Heritage. If you want to call us again, it's 0208 0046 100. And of course, if you'd like to book into JNM 1000 program, the number is +4477 423 84052. Also, if you're in London, it's 077 423 84052. And of course, my hashtag here is African Wonder Woman. And you know, it's time for the bell, so I'm going to come back to my bell ringing, you know. And my bell today brings us, I can hear the issue of relationship. So I'll bring you to the book of relationship. And I don't know if you've heard of Dr. Philip. Have you heard of Dr. Philip?
No.
Okay, so Dr. Philip was first introduced to me by Mr. George Emsden. And in fact, he talked about, he gave me this to read because he wanted me to be able to help many, many people in areas of relationship. And earlier on, you were talking about happiness. So many, many people have got issues of relationships. And so I bring Dr. Philip C. McGrath to your stage here today. And it's a book that I want to appreciate. The book is called Don't Make Excuses. Start Preparing Your Relationship Today. So it's only new. And I think that is what you're bringing us here to. So I just felt that to bring Dr. Philip C. McGrath, I definitely recommend that one. I usually don't recommend books, but I bring that book to you. Now, coming back to my bell, remember that how you feel, your negative thoughts, your issues that is surrounding you, it is important to create a space within your heart, within your soul, so that you're able to bring the abundance. Because if you're able to generate that abundance within you, you're able to transfer it to someone else. I'll bring you in the issue of stones. Right. Have you heard about stones?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, right. We're going to explore the issues of stone. And I tell you what, when I first, this is a heavy book, and I bought this in Glastonbury. Is it Glastonbury? Oh, I can't remember. But that's where it was. But we're looking at the issue of abundance. And what do you think when people look at different stones? Dee, what do you think about that?
Well, I've had the great opportunity to
Yes.
work with the lovely Lily Patrascu,
Okay.
who is the, she's the author, and she's very good with the stones. She's trying to get me into looking at stones, using them for healing purposes, promoting health and happiness. And I believe that stones are natural. They come from nature.
Yes.
They do have some healing purposes. If we allow them to, we can allow them to have some positive energy in our lives. And so I have not explored stones fully myself, but I'm open.
Thank you. Open to change. She's open to change. But I tell you what, I'm really, really excited whenever I talk. Let's appreciate this book. It's written by Robert Simmons and, of course, Naisha Ahisan, with contributions by Hazel Rovin, African Wonder Woman. When I first heard about stone, in fact, I was struggling thinking, what are people talking about stones? How can stones bring abundance to people? And this idea of stones really made me explore. As I told you, African Wonder Woman has got an open mind. You see, having an open mind allows you to experience different things. So the Book of Stone, one of the books of stones, and I thought I needed to understand stones and how people connect to stone. And thank you, Lily Patrascu, who has written a book with Harry Sadina. And of course, the book is all about speakers and leaders. And the book is about empower yourself to start your speaking career. So as you can see here, we really appreciate both of them. And of course, he's the founder of this, and he works very closely with Lily. So Lily is going along the side of bringing abundance with stones. So we come back to the stones. So I'll just pick up a page and let's see what we've got. So
Okay.
pick a page. Let's go for
Pick up a page.
Yeah, pick a page. page. Yes,
Okay.
let's do that. And while he's doing
Wow.
that, we're gonna play the drum as he's doing this, as we bring loads of different
blue
people.
one.
Yes, right. We
James
now
Silica.
got a blue stone, and we're going to read about a blue stone. Oh wow, my mom likes blue colors. And you know, as I talk about this, I was actually thinking about, as soon as I was coming here today, I was thinking, because we're talking about abundance, what color of dress should I wear? And because abundance relates to different colors, I had to really seriously think, you know, this topic is about divinity, abundance, and a sense of purpose, you know. Anyway, let's pick up and read a page about the Jim Silica that your one and only Harry Sardina has picked. And it says, Jim Silica. That is what the stone is called. And for those viewers who are looking into that, it's a blue Jim stone that has come up. And it brings us to the key word. It says element, water and wind. So, you know, we were talking about mindfulness, and it brings us to the area of, apparently this stone is supposed to bring us to chakra and our throats. So it brings us to the heart as well. So I don't know much about stones, but I love to bring us to think about stones. What is it that brings the best in you, you know? So I look at stones as something that brings the element of different people, so that people are able to choose that kind of feeling to be able to transcend it in people. And Robert Simon says, Jima Silica is perhaps the finest stone in the mineral kingdom for energizing the throat,
Wow.
chakra, and bringing
That's
forth.
because I'm a speaker.
All right.
That's why you see everything is energy.
As you can see, because he is a speaker. So it's about the throat, and we pass that energy to him. But Silica is more than a throat chakra stone of communication.
Mhm.
How about that? It's a little bit spooky sometimes.
Yeah,
But you
yeah.
know what? It brings us abundance. The most important thing is to smile and enjoy the world of smiling and being able to pass that. I thank my two viewers. And it says, it's also a material manifestation of the power of deep feminine. Jim Silica evokes the goodness energy within those who use or carry it. It can bring memories of past lives spent as priesthood or other accolades of goddess and worship. That's page 172. I tell you what, I usually just pick up a page, and once again, we appreciate the Book of Stones, who they are and what they teach you. Should we do one more? I will let Dee to pick up a page on the stone, because she wants to understand this meaning of. Let's try it again. It's lovely. Here we go. Thank you. Right, and let's go.
White sapphire.
Oh, white sapphire. And wow, white sapphire. So we go for that one. Awareness, clarity, and discernment. That is the message. That's page 332. We acknowledge the book of Robert Simon and Naisha Ahison, with contribution by Hazel Raven. So we're talking about white sapphire, or sapphire, whatever you want to call it. And guess what? I do love white as well. I love this tone and the feeling. So it says white sapphires is a colorless sapphires, easily mistaken for diamonds. Its energies are pure and refreshing, assisting one in clearing one's thoughts and coming to new tasks with clean slate. Its balanced energy can enhance one's objectivity, facilitating successful discrimination between alternative paths. White sapphires opens the power of the mind and strengthens the conduit of communication with spirit. Interesting. But I tell you what, anytime you talk about spirit in Africa, people think you're doing juju. So, you know what I'm trying to say to you is different meanings come with different things, in a meaning of describing the kind of varieties of different stones. They bring meaning to that. Our show is all about empowering, and of course, socio-economic issues, economic and humanity. At JNM 1000, if you're following African Wonder Woman here today, our topic here raises a lot of importance. What is it in you? How can you promote abundance within our lives? How can we bring divine purpose and abundance? That is the topic we are discovering today. As we draw to an end shortly, I will bring in a good dear friend who has just recently also written a book, Agatha Egwabo, and she reminds me of looking after the poor people and the struggles of the poor people, widows and orphans, and she is actually building 40 apartments in Lekki in Nigeria. So we appreciate somebody like her. I was in her program a few weeks, and she sent me that my struggles and triumph. So when I was thinking about the CSR, I think about greatness and people. And today, once again, we'd like to appreciate Heritage TV and all your technical team. We thank you for producing this topic. I come back to the issue of sustainable superabundance again, and of course David Wood, and how we communicate these matters of abundance. We're looking at a world which is struggling here today in the 21st century. We're looking at issues where the rise of nationalism is going up. How can people find forgiveness with each other? Is this issues that are people able to find forgiveness for others? I'm asking that as Wonder Woman, African Wonder Woman. Are people connecting with the rightness of their righteousness? Are people able to connect with their consciousness? And how can that happen? Yes. Hashtag at JNM 1000. Hashtag, of course, at African Wonder Woman. And is there a last word you would like to tell us about this topic?
Well, about this topic, what I want to share with the audience is again, live a life with purpose, and find it, because you're not even aware the great future and the great opportunities and possibilities that are for you if you allow yourself to find that passion, to find what you really love to do, and turn your life around that passion. You can't even imagine how the big future is so bright that is going to be waiting for you. And in order to get that, number one, stay positive, smile every single day. If you get angry for anything, just smile. Number two, spend some time, do some meditation, spend some time with yourself and find that purpose. Number three, take that decision. Take the decision based on what you really want, not in the money that is going to report in the bank account. Because in the end of the day, as we define today, abundance is not how much money you have in the bank account, it's how much value and contribution you do to society.
I take it back to Dr. De Martinis, and Dr. De Martinis talks about the values that we project, and that is where he's coming from. And T, what is your last words towards this subject?
Thank you. Well, one big word that comes to mind, following on from what Harry's been talking about, is being grateful.
Gratitude.
Gratitude, that's right.
Let's talk about gratitude just for 1 minute before we pen off. Gratitude. And how can people find gratitude? Yes.
Gratitude. Be grateful for what you have.
Yes.
Don't compare yourself to others. Look at where you are at, and that is how you're going to form a system. You need to have a system for yourself to be able to work your way up to where you want to be. Visualize your future. Visualize where you want to be. And don't look to the left or the right. Just look straight ahead and be focused. I love what Harry said about thinking outside of the box, because society today has been conditioned, like you said, go to school, go to job, you're happy. Are you really happy? But if you can think outside of that box, you may find your dream job, you may find your happiness, and you won't have to chase it, it will chase you. I just love the thought of being my own boss, having my own time and freedom to do what God put me on this earth to do.
I tell you what, if you're really, really interested to explore this subject, divine purpose and abundance, you are not on your own. We are here to support you. And of course, if you're looking for a coach, you can always call African Wonder Woman at JNM 1000. And of course, follow us and subscribe from our page as well, which is African Wonder Woman. Give us and subscribe, and we're going to be putting this. Thank you so much to those who have been watching here today. I've had some technicalities in finding all of you, so I've not appreciated one by one. But what I'm saying to you, I will see all of you, and I thank you all for watching Divine Purpose and Abundance. And I leave you with one thing: love is within all of us. Transfer that love to everyone to everyone that you see, and smiles, hugs. I pass that. And as I ring the bell here today, it's love and freshness. Let us seek for abundance. Let us seek for divinity. Goodbye. See you later. Thank you so much to our wonderful guest. And we thank you all for watching. Until next week. Next week, we've got a very wonderful person coming in here today. We've got Nollywood actor, and I will keep you suspended. Please keep an eye on us next week at the same time, at the same place. And it's your talk show here today, JNM 1000 Talk Shows. We welcome you all. Many, many thanks. Telephone number 077 423 84052. If you've called in today, we apologize for the technicalities, but thank you so much everyone for watching. Goodbye until next week. See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.